You've got to be a football hero to get along with the beautiful girls. You've got to have the legitimate merchandise to let the fans know that you're really cool.
Mr. Bones, are you ready to play some football?
Oh yeah, Dr. Berry, I'm ready for some football. Hey, Dr. Berry, I was just thinking about this. We're going to be able to play next week with our old friend Walter Payton. They call me Sweetness because I like to dance. Running the ball is like a making romance.
Oh yeah, I know it. Bonesy, I'm so excited. Remember when he gave us this autographed picture? Walter Payton was one of the most beloved men in all of Chicago, all of Illinois, all of the league, all over the world even. You know, they made an award for sweetness.
Oh yeah, he was the best. He was the sweetest.
Yeah, it's called the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award. And it's for doing humanitarian outreach, going above and beyond, doing more than your average man, and making good in the world. And one man per year from the NFL League gets awarded this. And it's one of the most sought after and prestigious awards that they give. And it's because of this man and his kindness and his love. And you know something? Even though he was that kind and that sweet and did all those good things, that wouldn't have got him to heaven, Mr. Bones.
Oh yeah, I know, that's really great stuff, but that's not the way. There's only one way, and that's knowing that Jesus paid the way and asking Jesus to be your retribution, your recompense, your payment, and accepting that his death paid for you. Because no matter how good you are, even as good as Sweetness was, that is not the way you get to heaven.
It's absolutely right, Mr. Bones. Well said. You know, he was my hero growing up, and all my friends and all of us in Northern Illinois loved Sweetness, and we had Walter Payton pictures and posters and toys and gear and jerseys. I mean, you name it. We really idolized this man, and I wouldn't say we made him a false idol. I mean, we really loved this man and looked up to him as our greatest hero.
Oh yeah, he was my hero. Walter Payton, the guy I want to be like.
But as I grew, you know, I got more mature in the world and understanding what's really important. And you know what, Mr. Bones? My hero vision changed. And I'll tell you a story when our dear friend Walter Payton, who went before us up to heaven way too soon, he was only 45. I heard this about him, that in his last days, first of all, he was brave and at peace, and he handled it so well because he knew where he was going. And one of the things he wanted was for his teammate, our other hero, Mike Singletary, Samurai Mike, he knocks him cold, to come and read the Bible to him every day at the hospital.
Wow, that is so cool. He really knew what was important, didn't he, Dr. Berry?
That's absolutely right. And so when I heard that, you know, a lot of people go to church. A lot of people might identify with Christianity, but only the Lord knows who's saved. Right, Mr. Bones?
Hey, wow, that's a heavy point.
And so when I heard that Walter thought it's so important that he wanted Mike Singletary, Walter wasn't very public about his faith. Not like some men like Reggie White and Mike Singletary, and more currently our big hero Tim Tebow. I mean, that kid, I love that kid so much for being brave enough to go out there, and look how he got attacked for doing it, right? Drew Brees made a commercial about you should read the Bible to your kids and have a Bible study, and the Satan attacked him and used the LGBTQ community, and he had to go on and make public service announcements apologizing for telling people to read the Bible. Oh man, I can't wait till justice comes. But all that to say, my hero view changed. And when I knew that Mike Singletary, somebody I know, because Mike Singletary used to come to our church, well, one of the churches I went to in Chicago, and he would speak, and he spoke that if you don't have Jesus, you don't have nothing, and that Jesus was the way, and that he was the strength of his life. Oh man, that man became my biggest hero. When I think about that, Walter Payton might not be up there, but men like Mike Singletary, grabbing him by the jersey, telling them this is what's important, that made me love that man. There's so much in life that we waste our time with, that we worship and idolize, and the most important thing is a person's everlasting soul. And there's work that is unseen that people do that is the most important work that there'll ever be, Mr. Bones.
Stop it, Dr. Berry. You're choking me up.
Thanks. A little comic relief. Help me get my composure. But the hero I always looked up to, the guy I wanted to be, it changed. And I saw what was really important in life. And Mike Singletary, great hero to me. So, you know, even a big silly football player can do the most important work there is in the universe.
Oh, you wouldn't call Big Mike Singletary a silly football player, would you?
No, I wasn't talking about him. I'm talking about our new hero and friend, man that I love, that helped me so much in these past years. I'm talking about the Sandman. And when we get up there and we're picking teams, I want to be on Walter Payton's team, but I want the Sandman on my team.
Right on, Dr. Berry. You're the best.
No, you're the best, Mr. Bones.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to be big and strong. I'll be able to play linebacker too, you know.
Pastor Sandy Armstrong, a man who has been at the fight for God, that believed the Lord told him to do a job, and it was going to be a hard job, and he got up there, faithful, and he did it. And he's had to take the hits and the punches, like the big strong guy he is, but he's got the heart of a teddy bear. And I get it, and I know what it's like, a little bit, putting yourself out there, and you take the hits from Satan, and it makes many people quiet right down and go crawling back in a safe place and keep their mouth shut. But the Lord called the man, go out there, get my people ready, because I'm coming. And it was a confusing path. He didn't know for sure, but what'd he do? Faithful, obedient. Yes, Lord, here I go. This is what I'm hearing from you. This is what I'm going to say. And he taught what he believed, and he did his best and poured his heart into it. And sometimes it looked so much like this is what the Lord is saying, and it turned out to be not exactly what he was saying. And so what happens? The wolves, the demons, they come out and attack and berate and slander and scoff and mock. And so, you know, he lost a lot of people that he thought were friends. And but what'd he do, Bonesy?
He kept on going, Dr. Berry. That's why you look up to him so much.
I've only had a little taste of this, Bonesy, and I can tell you, it's not easy. I put myself out on the line because I felt the Lord telling me this. June 6th, true Pentecost. June 6th, 2020, I'm coming. I know what'll happen if the day passes.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Berry, I'm glad I'm already dead.
Yeah, if the day were to pass, although right from the beginning I've said it might. You know, this is what the Lord is leading us to look at. This may be it. I may be right. I may actually be hearing from him, but he didn't come to me in bodily form, in a vision. He didn't speak from heaven and say, "Thus saith the Lord, I'm coming on this date." No, I'm trying to teach you that he has been giving us messages all along. And I know without a doubt, he is telling us to look at this time of June 6th and 7th. And if it passes, I feel confident, just like every other date that passes, that we will know what to look at next. If not that very day, but very soon after. I remember when we were all certain of the year that would not pass, the Jubilee year. And I woke up January 1st, 2019. Remember that, Bones?
Oh yeah, that was a rough day.
Yeah, I woke up and I was depressed. I was down. It wasn't 30 minutes of being awake on that day before I saw a new post that the calendars, that were all these different calendars, and January 1st is not the first of anything other than the first of Satan worship. So you see how God works? Where was that information the day before?
God leads us to exactly the point he wants us to be at, to focus on that point. And he's testing the faithful, just like when Moses walked all those people through the desert. And he was testing their faith to see who would obey.
Exactly right. So, I've gone on enough. But, Sandman, I feel you, bro. Like I said, I've been doing this a month or two. And, there's people out there. And most of it has been pure love. But I can just anticipate what would happen if the day comes and goes. But the Lord tells you, get my people ready, because I'm coming. Go out there and speak up. And so I'm glad I got a hero to look up to. Been doing this a lot longer than me. I think 17 years he's been doing this. So there's good news if the day does pass. It gives you all time to go back and watch all the Pastor Sandy's old messages, because in between the teaching of the impending coming of the Lord and the dates we look to that passed, in between all those was some awesome preaching about the truth of the Bible, of what the stories really mean, and the words and the numbers. Oh, you got a chance to learn more. I tell you, Bones, I have enjoyed every second of this watch. I have learned more during this watch of the last 4 years than all the previous 40 years of being a Christian and going to church and sitting in there and hearing milquetoast messages. This is your chance, folks. If I'm right, if the Lord is speaking to all of us, and I have just been opened up to see it, maybe a hair more than everybody else. I mean, come on. We got millions of people saying, this is it, the end times. I just happen to be picking the date. And I'll pick it again. I will never stop picking dates, because I will set my mind on a date that the Lord looks to be saying, and I will have it, because that keeps my focus sharp, and it helps me to go out and help the world. Help the world, Bonesy. Reach out to that friend. Reach out to that person that used to idolize Walter Payton and say, he wouldn't be in heaven if it weren't for his trust in Jesus Christ. There's a show coming, and there's one ticket to this show, and you can't buy the ticket yourself. That ticket has to be paid for by Jesus Christ. But all you have to do is accept that he paid the price for your life. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of perfection. You must be perfect in the eyes of God. The only way to be perfect is to be 100% covered with his blood, to be wearing his snow white robe of righteousness, to be covered in solid gold deity. The temple boards for the house of God were made of wood that was covered 100% in solid gold and then set into 2 silver sockets. Silver represents redemption, gold represents deity, wood represents mortal man that would rot and decay. But once I'm covered, I become a board in the temple of God. There's only one way to do that. And it's not by being sweet, and it's not by being kind. It's by understanding I'm not enough. And I have fallen short of that perfection that is the Lord. But by his goodness and his love, he came to cover us. Anybody that wants it can have it.
Anybody, Dr. Barry?
Absolutely anybody. The only way you can't get in is to reject the gift and worship false gods and worship false idols. And there's some evil stuff I won't even mention, but I hope this was help to even one single person out there. But it was also a message to my friend.